Hey everybody, Chris from Slide Rule Racing here. Today's video is replacing the condenser on a CTS-V. So here's my 2004 CTS-V. I've done a couple of other videos on this one, anybody that follows along. Today we're just going to replace the condenser, and only the condenser. So the first step, we'll get right into it, the first step is to safely and lawfully discharge the Freon from the air conditioning system. Mine leaked out from the hole in the condenser, which is why we're replacing it. So we're going to skip that step on the video and jump to the next step, which is to remove the air deflector from the bottom of the car. That's this guy right here. There is another video from A1 Auto where they do just that, so I'm not going to record that part. A little tricky to get the camera down here. I'm going to take this out next. Here we are without the with the cover now tucked away over there. And if you don't feel like watching the A1 Auto radiator replacement video to see that one, it's really just a whole bunch of those body clips that pop out so that you can take it out of position. And my Slide Rule Racing tip of the day here: if you guys don't have one of these body clip removal tools, and you do, I don't know, any reasonable amount of work on a current car, you should pick one of those up. It's super handy, especially for door panels and whatnot. Okay, so here's the condenser right here. So that's the part we got to take out, and we're going to undo the mounting bolts, the lower mounting bolts, which are here and then over there on that side. And we're also going to disconnect the hoses, the tubes that connect in, which is one bolt there and then one bolt up there that we're gonna have to do a little Gumby arm motion on. So let me see if I can get the camera set up, and we'll take those bolts out. So, two problems. One, the upper bolt, the upper pipe clamping bolt that's up there, it broke. That's actually okay, because the thread is part of the new condenser. So, so as long as I can get the tube out, I should be okay. The other problem is, hopefully I can get way to focus on this here. So this mounting bolt, when I apologize if that's not focused, I can't really tell. That mounting bolt, when I turn it, the nut inside of the radiator is also turning, because it looks like the little plastic slot keeper is broken there. So I'm going to figure out a way to get that out, and then we'll come back to the video. I wrestled with it for a couple minutes and then decided to screw it, and I just ground it off and pushed the rest of it out. So now underneath we're all set. The pipes are disconnected and the lower mounts are disconnected. We'll now head to the top. So the next step is to give us some access. We're going to take off this cover right here. And with that off, now we have to undo the upper mounts to give us some room to take it out. These are the radiator supports. We got to take those out. Now we can take these guys out, although another Slide Rule Racer pro tip is Aerocroil. This stuff is the best I've used. We can clear the reservoir return hose on the radiator we could get this out, but I'm not sure if we can clear that, so I think we're going to have to pop that off. Actually, I can go out through the bottom a little easier than coming out through the top. Except the car isn't tall enough. There we go. This little bracket right here was what was getting hung up on. I'm trying to come out the top, so that was why going out the bottom was a little easier. Where I am right now is I need to go to the hardware store and pick up some fasteners to replace the ones that I had to grind off and the ones that broke, as well as getting some of the new square nuts to fit inside the radiator. So while I'm at it, I'm also going to replace the O-rings that are part of those tubes that fit onto the condenser. And then if you don't have any, you're going to need some oil, and I'm going to also add a little bit of dye because as you can see, well, let's see, I wonder if the blue light will work on the, let's see how this works. So, there you go. So, that's, I don't know how well that's recording, but it's lighting up like crazy here. So, there's a whole bunch of dye that's where that was leaking there, and also over here, also like crazy. So see, that's what it should look like. That's with no dye. And then boom, there's the dye. So I'm going to add some dye, and you got to add some oil. According to GM, the amount of oil to add is, let's see, I can figure that out. Is 1.35 ounces. So make sure that you have at least 1.35 ounces of oil to pour back into the condenser before we put it back in the car. So I will, and also before we put it back into the car, we have to transfer this bracket, as I mentioned. So when I come back, we'll finish that up. Okay, I'm equipped with new hardware, and so now we'll get to work swapping everything over. Okay, all finished. Now it's just time to pull a vacuum on the system and then recharge it. And that's covered plenty elsewhere on YouTube, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I hope this video helps you if you're gonna change the condenser in your CTS. Take care.